Alright, folks, let's do some recording, shall we? So like I said, a lot of times I will do this with Google Slides, and just you can, as you work through your slides and your recording, you can annotate, you can use it for a variety of different things with just your voice and the things that you've designed on your slides. So if you're going to do a Google Slides cast, we will start by just opening up our slide presentation. So you see I have this response to literature one that I'm going to be working with today. The next thing we'll want to do is, well, what I like to do is actually get this into a more full screen view. So if we present this, which is going to take it into full screen, but then we actually come down here to these little arrows, and we're going to click that and make it so it's full screen in the browser window. So now when it records it, it's going to take up most of the screen. You're still going to get some of the stuff up here, but this is going to be the bulk of what students are seeing. Okay, so now if we record our tab, it's going to just record what we're seeing here. So now that we're set up to record, we're going to click the film button up here, and I'm just going to do a tab record. I'm not going to record tab audio. I will embed my camera. All right. So I'm just going to show you the basics of this. I'm going to start by hitting record tab. Okay, so now
3,
it will give us a little countdown.
1.
Hey, there I am. All right, so it is now recording, and we know that because if we look up here at the little film strip, we see that there's a little red dot on it, and that means that Screencastify is active and it is recording everything that is happening on our screen, including my pretty little face down here in the corner. One thing I will also mention while we're here is that down here at the bottom you have Screencastify has built-in annotating tools, so you can do stuff like draw. So if you are doing math or something on here, it makes it pretty easy to show process or go through or fill out stuff or whatever. It's just a convenient little tool to have. Another thing that you will have down here are you have shortcuts to. You can pause your video, you can go back to mouse pointer, you can go to focus on mouse, meaning you can get that nice little spotlight view thingy going on. Here's your eraser. This is to wipe the screen, so anything that you have written on the screen you can wipe by hitting that button. Just going to turn that spotlight. And then you can close out of it with that. You can also hide the tools. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to flip to our next slide by clicking on the screen. So this is when I would maybe talk about our learning objective, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to the next slide. All right, so this is where I would say, hey guys, here's the learning objective today. You're going to do one of these pentads and you're going to fill in all this stuff for your story, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's how you do it. And then you might get to something that looks like this, and this is where you could actually model it right here with Screencastify. So I might say the part of the book, end, or chapter 2 or something, actors, Billy, the character of the story. I can't remember what I was teaching when I did this. But you could go through and you could model the exact process with this tool, just like I've showed you here. And it's, with all those built-in tools and the annotation, all that stuff, makes it really cool. Include all of those kind of direct instructional stuff that you normally do in the front of the class, but you can actually do it and record it, and then students can work on it on their own. I just really like the ability to do record the slides, and really what I like to do is to have students do these, because man, they can make some really cool videos. We've done music videos like this. We've done animations. If you have students to create all the keyframes and the different slides, all that'll come together really well. All right, so once you've gone through the entire lesson and you're ready to be finished recording, there's a couple of options that you have. Number one is you can come over here and hit the stop button, or you can come back over here to the film strip button up here, click on that, and then go to where it says end recording. And that will actually stop the recording, and it will immediately start to play it, so you'll want to actually pause that video because already yourself will be screaming and gets pretty loud and disorienting. So, but then you can actually go back through, and you'll also see up here in the corner, it's now saving that on Drive. I'll talk about how we can do a little bit more with that. It does say not stored on drive, so what it's doing is it's rendering that video and it's turning it into a file format that's going to work on Google Drive. There's a couple other things we can do with this, but we can also just preview our video as it is right here. So I'll go ahead and play it. Alright, so it is now recording, and we know that because if we look up here at the little film strip, we see that there's a little red dot on it, and that means it's math or something on here. It makes it pretty easy to, you know, show process, spotlight view thingy going on. It looks like this, and this is where you could actually model. I can't remember what I was teaching when I did this. Alright, so it records every single thing you do, which is really cool. Now you have a couple of other things you can do with this. One, it's already saved into your drive, so you're going to have it in a folder on your Google Drive. You can also download this directly, and that means you're going to save either an animated GIF or an MP4, an animated GIF is not going to have audio. MP4 is going to be a pretty hefty size file, which is going to sit on your hard drive, basically, and you can play it with Media Player or VLC or whatever. Share. This is something that I would recommend you also know about, is that if you know that you can put this on YouTube. And so if you have a YouTube channel, you can just go ahead and connect that, like I just did, and then hit YouTube, and then upload, and it will upload this video directly to YouTube at the same time. I'm not going to actually do that. But you can. It's totally super easy. The next thing you can do is get a shareable link. So just like anything that sits in your Google Drive folder, you can share it out with a link. So we'll just if you click get link, as soon as your video is uploaded, it will give you that link, right? You can also control the share settings directly from this. We can make it public, unlisted, or private, so only I can see it. So if you put it up on YouTube and you don't want everybody to look at it, you can make it unlisted, so you're the only one that gets the link to make that happen. That's how you do a simple recording. That's how you use some of the functional tools on it to kind of do some of the easier stuff with it. It's a really cool tool, and you can use it in a lot of different ways in your classroom. Stay tuned for a little bit more about Screencastify.